He points out that he himself goes to the cross, and then he says, if you would be my disciples, you must take up your cross and follow me. He says it several times. Now, we hear that expression today, and it's not powerful anymore. In fact, some of us have made jokes about it. Oh, this horrible toothache. We all have our cross to bear. And our cross becomes some minor irritation or a nasty in-law. Well, we all have our cross to bear. But in the first century, you never made jokes like that. In the first century, crucifixion was so awful that handbooks were actually written on the responsibility of parents not to talk about crucifixion to their children, not to show crucifixion to their children. If there is a crucifixion site, they should take their children in some other place. There were no jokes about crucifixion in the ancient world. Not one has come down to us. You could no more joke about crucifixion in the ancient world than you could joke about Auschwitz today. It's unthinkable. And we talk about we all have our cross to bear. And Jesus has the cheek to turn to his disciples and say, unless you take up your cross, you can't be my disciple. Taking up the cross in those circumstances did not mean taking up your particular little bit of suffering. It meant you take up the cross member out to the place of crucifixion where you will suffer and die. It meant death to self-interest. Now, most of us are not going to be crucified in that literal sense, but we follow a master who was. And Jesus says, if I have been crucified, don't you understand? If you are to be my disciple, you must be crucified too. Oh, not in the same physical way for most of us, but a death to self-interest and a coming under his lordship as he himself obeyed his own heavenly Father perfectly.